Hello students, welcome to CR Digital Classes. I'm Hashaf Ali Khan. So this platform of CR Digital Classes will provide you immense knowledge on different subjects so that you can watch, you can learn a lot and get full confidence on your subjects so that you can write excellently in your examination and expect a very good results. So right now I'm explaining about the topic consignment in the subject financial accounting 2. So already in the previous video I've explained the features. What is the meaning of the term consignment? What are the features of consignment? Now in this video I'm going to explain you a very important topic from examination point of view. Very frequently they will ask you a theory question regarding what is Proforma Invoice and what is account sales. So in this video, I'm going to explain you the differences. First of all, meaning, then differences between Proforma Invoice and account sales. Come on, let's begin our discussion. But before starting the discussion on that, first of all, I want to explain you the different types of questions which has been asked in previous examination on this topic. Like account sales have been asked, then Proforma Invoice. What is the difference between Proforma Invoice and account sales? These are the different types of questions which had been asked in previous examinations. Now we'll start our discussion on the topic. Proforma Invoice. Proforma Invoice. A proforma is a preliminary bill of sale sent before shipment of delivery. It's a common term which is used whenever there is a sale of goods. The seller will give Proforma Invoice to the buyer so that buyer can see the details of the transaction. What is the price, what is the quantity, what are the expenses, all these things. But this is only a Proforma, means preliminary bill. It's not the final bill, just to give you information about the goods to the buyer. It comes from Latin word, actually Proforma. It comes from a Latin word. It's a matter of form. It's not the complete formal document. It's just a form which is given, and it's not final invoice but serves as an estimate and helps both the parties to understand. The main purpose of this Proforma Invoice is so that both the parties, buyer and seller, should be clear about the transaction. And Proforma Invoice. How the Proforma Invoice will be made? Simply a format I'm showing you here. See carefully. Messrs. Universal Traders. Proforma Invoice number is goods for goods sent on consignment. So this Proforma Invoice is for goods sent on consignment. Now I'm explaining you the format, the proforma of Proforma Invoice. Here the example I have taken, the goods which are consigned by the consigner, going to be consigned. 10,000 books are going to be consigned at 20 rupees each. So the price of the books, the cost of the books is 2 lakh. To this we add the charges, the expenses incurred by the supplier. The supplier will incur packing and cartage, insurance, freight, etc. All the expenses come together 47,500. Then the total cost will become 247,500. From this, advance already paid. Suppose if the advance have already been received from the buyer, that will be deducted 25,000. So 28,500 goods dispatched. It will become this one. Now, this is the proforma or format of Proforma Invoice. Now, characteristics of Proforma Invoice. What are the features, characteristics? The first one, Proforma Invoice contains specific characteristic that distinguishes it from other business document. The other business documents are final, but Proforma Invoice is not the formal document. It's just the document which is prepared to let the buyer know about the goods to be purchased. Now, preliminary nature. Proforma Invoice not a demand for payment, but it's a preliminary that outlines the transaction. It should not be understood that the Proforma Invoice is made so that the buyer should pay the amount. No, It is just to tell the buyer the details of the goods to be supplied. And second, detailed information. This proforma invoice should give the complete detailed information of the item being sold or shipped, including quality, quantity, price, and delivery details. These are the main things. These are the main things which should be specified in the proforma invoice. Quantity, quality, and then price, delivery charges, etc. No payment obligation. So remember, this proforma invoice does not put an obligation on the buyer to make the payment. There is no obligation, just to let him know about the goods. Advisory document. It is primarily used as an advice, not to inform the buyer of what to expect in terms of delivery. Now, sent before shipment. Remember, this proforma invoice is prepared and sent before delivery of goods. It is not sent after delivery. It is just sent before delivery so that the buyer must know what are the details of this proforma invoice. Now, sent before shipment, no accounting entry. Remember, this is not a final document. Proforma invoice is not a final document, so it will not be used in making accounting transactions. It is just an informative details which is provided by supplier to the buyer. This is all about proforma invoice. Now I am coming to the next topic called account sales. There are similarities as well as differences between proforma invoice and account sales. Sometimes they will ask in examination only account sales. Sometimes they will ask both differences. So you must be clear in your mind regarding both the concepts. Now, account sale is a report provided by the consignee to the consignor, explaining the sale of goods, how much expenses consignee has incurred, what is the commission due, and how much is the balance to be sent by consignee to consignor. It's a final document. So remember, it's the report. Remember the point. It is the report provided by consignee, agent responsible for selling the goods, to the consignor. So one point is clear. Proforma invoice will be sent by the supplier to the buyer, whereas account sales will be prepared and sent by the consignee to the consignor regarding the sale of goods. Now, this document contains detailed information about goods sold. Very important, you have to remember, goods sold. Account sales contains goods sold, expenses incurred, commission charges charged by the consignee, and the balance due to the consignor. These points you have to remember. What are the contents of account sales? How much worth of goods consignee has sold? What are the expenses paid by the consignee? What is the commission due to consignee? And how much is the balance sent by consignee to consignor? These are the detailed information. Now, proforma of account sales. Here you can see the proforma of account sale is shown below with the imaginary figures Rajesh and brothers. So door number so and so reference. Now you can see how the account sales would look like. 85 cycles sold at 1,000 each. So it comes to 85,000. 85 cycles of 1,000. So total goods sold by the consignee, 85,000. Less freight charges, storage, insurance, sales expenses, commission. These are the expenses which are paid by the consignee from his pocket, and commission due is 5%. So total of expenses and commission 11,750. So what he will do? He has sold the goods for 85,000, out of which he will deduct his expenses and also commission. So total deduction 11,750. 85,000 minus 11,750, remaining amount is 73,250. This is the amount to be paid by consignee to consigner, but already advance paid 25,000. In the beginning, he has already paid advance. That will also be deducted. So now the final amount paid is 48,250. This is the balance due remitted as per the enclosed draft. This is the format of account sales. Now you can see the characteristics of account sales. Very important. The features. Detailed sales breakdown. That means this account sales is a final document, very important document. So it should give the detailed information about the item, goods sold, then including quantity, price, total value, allowing the consignor to understand the sales performed. So it should give the complete detailed information. Deductions for expenses. The consignee deducts expenses such as transportation, insurance, and storage cost. See here, expenses will be paid by the consignor, and also expenses may be paid by the consignee. So whatever expenses paid by consignee regarding storage, insurance, or transportation, all these expenses he will deduct from the sales. Now, commission details. The consignee's commission is deducted from the total sales value. Two things he will deduct. He will deduct the expenses incurred and he will deduct the commission. Next comes net payable amount. After deducting expenses and commission, the final balance payable to the consignor is presented. Finally, how much amount he is paying right now after deducting expenses, commission, and advance payment. So whatever balance is due, now he is paying, right? Now you can see the net amount payable, transportation dates. The report includes the date when the transactions have occurred. Now, supporting documentation. Sales invoice and receipts for expense are often attached to validate. That means every document should be supported by evidence, documents. So these sales occurred, expenses paid, all documentary proof should be provided by consignee to the consignor. Next, unsold goods. Unsold goods report. If any goods remains unsold, the account sales may include a report on the remaining stock. So in this account sales, below the account sales, they should give the report how much worth of goods are remaining unsold. That's all. Now the next topic is regarding the differences between Proforma invoice and account sales. Very important, very frequently asked in examination. Differences. The first difference is regarding the purpose. What is the purpose of Proforma invoice and what is the purpose of account sales? Proforma invoice, it's a preliminary estimate. It is preliminary. The meaning of preliminary is beforehand, before conducting the transaction. So it's preliminary estimate of the goods and services to be delivered. So before supplying the goods, before delivering the service, the seller must supply the complete information of the goods to the buyer. That is the purpose, to let know the buyer the details of the goods. But the purpose of account sale is the final report. Remember, this is preliminary report and that is the final report detailing the actual sales conducted by the consignee, right? That is the purpose. The Proforma invoice, the purpose is to let know the buyer, whereas account sales, it contains the detail of sales conducted by consignor sent to the consignor. Now, timing. Issued before the goods are delivered or services rendered. Always. The timing is, the Proforma invoice is prepared before delivery of the goods, before conducting the sales, whereas the account sales are made after conducting the sales, after the goods are sold by the consignee. Then content provides outline of the product's prices and terms of sale. It will give you the detail regarding the quantity, price, and other details of the goods to be sold. Whereas here, the details of actual sales, expenses, commission, advance paid, how much amount is right now paid. These are the different details in Proforma Invoice as well as in account sales. Now, payment obligation. No immediate payment is required as it serves. No immediate payment is required as it serves as a quotation. Preliminary expenses will not apply any obligation on the buyer to make any payment. Whereas in case of account sales, it indicates the balance to be paid to the consignor after the sales. Or always in account sales, the balance has to be paid by the consignee to the consignor. Accounting impact. What is the entry on the basis of this Proforma invoice? Proforma invoice is not a final report. It's only a preliminary report. So it will not be recorded. It will not be used to record the accounting transaction. No entry is made in the accounts as it is not a final invoice. It's only a preliminary report. But accountant as a settlement report between the consignee and consignor. Account sale is a basic report. So by using this account sales, all the entries will be made by the consignor in the books of accounts. In the consignment account, in goods sent on consignment account, consignee account, all transactions are recorded on the basis of account sales. Next is used by. Typically, this Proforma invoice will be used by the seller to the buyer. Whereas typically it is used in consignment. Account sales will be used in consignment. Proforma invoice can be used by anybody. Normally it is used wherever they want to sell or buy the goods. But account sales will be specifically used only in consignment. Now, legal status. Not legally binding at its only a preliminary offer. The Proforma invoice is not legally binding. It is just the information given by the seller to the buyer, so that the buyer must know the information about the transaction. Whereas legally binding as it reflects actual sales and earnings. This account sale is very, very important because it has legal binding. On the basis of account sales only, we are recording the transaction. So these are the differences. One more difference is there regarding goods sold. Issued before the goods are shipped or delivered, whereas issued after the goods have been sold. Proforma invoice will be prepared by the seller before selling the goods, whereas account sales will be sent by consignee to consignor after the sales are conducted. That's all. So in this video, I have explained you in detail regarding Proforma invoice and account sales. Hope the concept is completely clear. So you can have a good knowledge on these two concepts. You can write excellently in examination. So on behalf of SIA Publications, I wish you all the best for your preparations and for your exams.